What's up YouTube, Codforman220 here, and welcome back to another Company Computers 2 online replay. This is rather interesting. I'm just looking at all this stuff right here. Yeah, so this is a new replay system. They did a massive update to Company Computers 2 today. And so there's a full list. It's like on their changelog. If you go check it out on their forums, I'll probably be going through it at some point. And you can see we have our it's kind of cool. We have you can see the players. We're playing with Juicebox here. And yeah, this is the map down here. I'm not sure I like the map being bigger, but interesting. Anyway, I'm yellow on this apparently. Okay. So I'm yellow. That's okay, that's kinda cool. So this is a map Linux, or not Linux, but anyway, it's some fancy French map. I haven't learned the pronunciation just yet. So my plan is to get some rifleman squads, and I do my rear echelon. Now, the way this map's set up is in the south, you can see we have 2 munitions, and then we have a fuel in the mid, and a fuel way up north, and then we have 2 victory points in the mid north there. So you can see this guy, Fortuno, is going to be having Kuppelwagen, and first of all, his ally. One of them is an Oberkommando West unit, and one of them is a basic Wehrmacht unit, so they get the best of both German units. And then I have the United States, and Juicebox has the Soviets. So these guys are going to pop into houses. Now keep in mind, there's only like one window they're shooting at them, so that's going to hurt them in the long run. I'm just going to pull back from that engagement. I'm not liking this. We have a new cover system, so you can see if I click onto this truck, for instance. My men just pop in a house. Let's go with a different unit. You can see how my men are like green dots right here. They automatically get all behind the cover, and then if they're going to be white, if they're going to have white little dots if they're in negative cover. Anyway, I'm down here. These guys are screwed. They're going up against the Storm Pioneers and the Kuppelwagen. Not looking too good. Anyway, the mid's still pretty active. You can see Juicebox has some penal troops involved there. My men are shooting out some of the windows. You have 2 windows, and they're also kind of shooting out of the corner there into this house. But the Wehrmacht players set the machine gun. This is a very dominant building in this city. Now I need to make some more infantry here. And I'm starting to make some infantry right now, so that's good. And you can see Juicebox is going to go with 120mm, she's going to go with the guard mortar coordination tactics. He's already picked their commanders. So he's going to try to get a jagdtiger, and so he's going to go for a tiger. I'm not sure which one he's actually picked, but he definitely goes for a tiger in this match. And you can see Juicebox is going to move up. He's going to try to throw a satchel charge in there, but the guy saw it and decided to run away. I'm going to continue chasing him with my assault engineers. They do have their grease guns, and we're doing quite a lot of damage. I almost wiped out that squad there. So I just simply turn my guys. They go prone and start taking out some shots. We'll start taking some shots at these grenadiers. That's when more of these Volks guys pull up, some more Volks grenadiers. He hasn't built a supply truck here yet. And then we have this guy in the south who's getting attacked. I'm fascinated by this new replay system. Anyway, the enemy has a mortar team in the mid. And we're going to start pushing. Now, I've already noticed a glitch in this update. My men don't throw grenades. I tried 3 or 4 times to throw grenades, and they just didn't actually throw. So, don't buy the grenades just yet until we fix that. Rifleman grenadiers do not throw grenades. Like, this would have been a perfect spot to throw a grenade, and my men won't do it. So that's a little frustrating. I know you can see him researching grenades right now, because I don't know they don't work. Now you can see up close, my men are going to be doing a lot of damage. They're kind of naturally going behind the cover, which is nice with that new angle. I do like that new cover system. Then we're going to flank around. These guys are a decent amount of trouble. They're forced to retreat. The mid is collapsing, but grenadiers are coming in to reinforce. We also have the Kuppelwagen. My men are around this area here. But he's behind our lines. These guys are like, okay, yeah, he's behind our lines, cutting off our fuel. So we own both fuels right now, but they're still connected because of this point. But it'd be nice if we had these 2 points. So I'm going to go try to capture one of those points. And I'm going to have my ambulance try to help meet me. Now I'm forced to fall back here. A lot of different troops coming on the field here. They have Volks, they have regular grenadiers, they have a machine gun, and he's now setting up his supply his mechanized regimental headquarters. And you see how the guy shot a grenade and my men didn't do anything? I didn't stop the grenade. And unfortunately, this guy's going to retreat right through those storm pioneers, and he is screwed. And he just died. You can see his new XP system, so it flashes in red for the XP. 80 XP for killing one of those units. That's kind of cool. Anyway, I see this engagement, and I'm kind of liking this at first, but I see quickly my men start dying. So once he pulls off, I'm going to pull back also. There's no point in losing my squad here. You know, the ambulance is up. And I'm going to start reinforcing and healing my troops. You can pop your medics out and use them to disembark that way. But I usually just like to do the distribute medical supplies. Anyway, this box does have a decent amount of satchel charges. Well, he doesn't have a lot of munitions for them, but he can deploy them. Unfortunately, they have both munitions in the bottom here, and that's going to cut off the American supplies there. And the Cousins is pushing back towards the center. We're trying to control both fuels right now. There's just a lot of guys, you know. And these guys even got the combat package. And throwing a Molotov, so he's using his Kugelwagen well. It's killing a decent number of men. If not, it's just suppressing and pinning his guys down. And Juicebox first fall back. I'm going to start trying to push in the south. Remember, every one of these strategic points gets you 3 fuel and 5 munitions, so even if we don't hold the munitions, it's worth capturing these points. And it shows you your doctrine down here. And I do like the changes. I wish the map was a little bigger, but anyway, we're taking some shots into the machine gun here. The only thing that does work, which is nice, are these smoke grenades. So I'm going to toss a smoke grenade and try to fall back towards my ambulance to heal up my men. We haven't taken any captures of that machine gun, machining Wehr, and we're going to pull back to the ambulance to get some supplies.
You need something demolished?
Anyway, you can see Juicebox has 2 engineers out. The north is pretty much untouched right now. There's a big fight in the center here and in the south. I'm starting to take some munitions back. You know, it's 11 per minute. They're getting 48, and they don't really have. I mean, they do have the assault artillery, and this guy would probably have the recon playing the bombing strikes. So they're benefiting from having a lot of these munitions. Anyway, the Volksgrenadiers getting upgraded with the combat package again. And my men are healing up. Look at all the infantry he has. He's 4 Volksgrenadiers, 1 of the Panzerfusiliers, and an officer. Juicebox is going to hop over the fence rather than retreat right past those guys, I think. Well, this isn't some kind of light cover. It's more he's going to push up. Yep. You can heal up and reinforce there. Anyway, these guys get kind of caught down here. There's a lot of Volks and the Storm Officer. The car's getting repaired, so this is going to be kind of a mobile force. It's going to be hard for me to penetrate this southern area without any kind of. I mean, I'm going to need something. Like, I'm going to need probably a lieutenant, and then maybe a possible utility car or an AA half-track. Anyway, the Grenadiers are going to penetrate the center. We don't really have too much of a stable front line right now. The men are in the south getting ready. And I need my munitions for bars. They did improve the bars. I'm just trying to shoot. You can see I'm folks firing on these Storm Pioneers. I just want to try to have them not be able to repair their truck very well. But we get suppressed, and I'm forced to fall back there. You know, I'm not afraid to do a kind of quick retreat like that. And my lieutenant's out. I'm going to try to bring him around. Actually, bring him south, kind of hoping the Kugelwagen will go up there by himself. Anyway, I have my ambulance up here, so I only killed 1 guy. Unfortunately, I told my ambulance to go around this way, and he got kind of confused, and I was going to get Panzerfausted, and he's dead. So I just lost my ambulance, which is very unfortunate. That's 250 manpower. It's not so much losing the fuel, it's losing that 250 manpower. That could have easily been another rifleman unit, so they're kind of cut off our point there. Juicebox is going to counterattack. Mainly because he's the one who's, you know, penal troops to get killed. And these guys apparently can't hit anything. So these guys have the SVT-40 and the conscript using the Mosin Nagant. Bolt action versus semi-automatic, big difference. Just like our M1 Grand, you know, we're going to fire a lot faster than the Car 98 for, you know, the American riflemen. Overall, we're going to be firing much faster at closer range with the M1 Grands we have. Anyway, I'm right now currently researching the bars and equip all my squads with the bar and start hopefully dealing death to some of these blobbed up formations. G-Spox is being competitive in the center again. They do have a pack out. They have 2 packs out. They're probably expecting something. This guy still hasn't picked his doctrine yet. And they're throwing grenades, and you know, G-Spox even has some guard riflemen up that can possibly deal with any kind of scout car, and even the Kupelwagen if the Kupelwagen's not careful. But he's gonna have the Kupelwagen sitting here, that one, just to stop me from getting those munitions. I'm gonna try to take the southern victory point right now to have all 3. These units have these things over their head. That's kind of a weird lag. And so ours needs to fight harder, and if the officer dies, they'll all mass retreat. Even built the reinforcement marker. This is a good spot. And I see that, I'm like, nope, gotta retreat there. So at least it's kind of neutralized. Now it's going toward their favor, but G-Spox has his mortar out here. Yeah, so I have 3 riflemen all equipped with bars. I was kind of waiting for an ambush here. Like, I was hoping that that blob, you know, right here would kind of march in and try to take this point. So I have my men all in heavy cover behind the defenses, but that's not going to happen. So I'm going to move up. I'm going to move up to this position. And I'm going to deal death to this Kupelwagen. I'm probably going to, I'm going to split my men up. I'm not going to charge all on one thing. And keep in mind that these guys do have the anti-tank rifle grenade. All you need to do is hit this thing in the wire and they're screwed. And I'm going to launch a smoke grenade because these guys are going to be pinned down. Even with the bars, it's good just to pin these guys. And now I can't see. Let's put on the flag of war really quickly. He can't really see me. And I can't see him at all. So, unfortunately, these guys weren't the Vet 1 squad, otherwise they could flank. Anyway, the blob's coming down here. They're going to try to cut off my men. And he keeps moving. He isn't like that. You know, the bars are pretty deadly weapons. And he's forced to retreat there. I just focus fired on his officer, and he died, so everyone retreated. And the Kupelwagens are going to retreat back to this and get repaired. Anyway, up north, G-Spox is taking these guys off. They're trying to take our fuel, which wasn't good. He's pushing them back. I'm trying to recapture this out. I got to be a little careful about blobbing up, but it's really just to protect myself from their own blobs here. And I'm okay to fight this for a little bit. I know I'm going to take some casualties, but I'm doing some damage. Unfortunately, the reinforcer and I just got to fall back again. I do have 2 machine guns. I do have them set up in these 2 houses here, mainly to cover the fuel and this road. And I can see these. It's really cool. He's a PTRS right here. He stole up from some guard troops. But I can see them. My gun's actually shooting through the wall. That's kind of funny. You know, G-Spox is pounding this area with his 120mm mortar. If he was pounding around here, that would be even better. They have their own mortar out. Bet 1. Has killed 5 men, though. So at least this is neutralized. At least no one's claiming that. I'm going to reinforce them and bring them back up to the front. Right now I'm working on getting a lieutenant. Yeah, I'm grabbing an ambulance, and then I need to get a lieutenant. I already got a lieutenant. Yeah, I'm still getting used to this kind of system, you know, on the replays. So I have a lieutenant now. I can also reinforce this unit who I haven't touched since the beginning of the game, and I can heal them up. So I'm now have a major, which is really good. I do have a decent amount of fuel, and I'm hoping to grab myself a good old Jackson Tank Destroyer. I always offer the Jackson Tank Destroyer over the Sherman first because it often will help deal with any kind of Oswin or other lighter vehicles the Germans may have to start off with. My lieutenant's up here. I move my MG into this house, trying to take some shots at the possible, you know, kind of stopping up the middle here. And I'm getting hit by the mortar, which is very unfortunate, but I just got to keep this machine gun here. I really want to get rid of that pack. A new change to this game with the update has been that AT guns no longer gain as much XP as they used to. So now they're like down to half the XP because they're going against tanks. They'd be getting more XP, so they don't get as high registry now, which makes sense. I thought I had this right here, but I had to fall back, so I should have had that fuel, but I didn't. You know, we have nothing to stop us, so the Austrians can have a field day. I can hit its engine, but that's just about it. G-Spox does have some guard riflemen here. I'm close to losing my squad there. I didn't hit them with the anti-tank rifle grenades, so now they're slowed down, and my men here are fighting against the troops. I'm trying to throw a grenade again. You can see that flashing down there. Once again, no movement from my men. They're kind of glitched. I will successfully take this fuel here. And I'm going to fall back. There's no need to lose any of my men here to this Austrian. It does have an impressive 5 kills so far. And they even have a Puma. They've gone very light on their vehicles, so you can see I'm really hoping I can grab, you know, in about 5 fuel I can get myself a, what's going on me here? Get myself a Jackson tank destroyer. So I decided to go armor on this one, mainly because I can get the assault engineers early on. My crews have elite vehicle training, and also I find the 105mm bulldozer Sherman very effective against infantry and, you know, any kind of buildings. This map does have buildings, so I really like using these assault engineers. Anyway, I have all my men back at base. They're getting a speech from the major right here. Just kidding, they're actually just hanging out back there. So immediately I'm getting ready to go back to the front line. I'm going to try to set up a position right around here between the buildings. Hopefully, you know, it's close enough to the front line that my men can retreat, but not, you know, too close. Well, I mean, right here wasn't too close with my ambulance, but just close enough, you know, that happy medium between being close to the front line, but not too close so your tank your ambulance can get easily destroyed. So a lot of American infantry are pulling in here. These are my guys. And these guys just, they're going to have to retreat there. There's multiple units coming in. The first T-34's here. We're probably going after that mortar. And I want to start taking this southern area. I feel like I have a decent amount, but I got to be careful about that Oswin coming in.
Come on, boys, knock it off.
But I do have a Jackson tank destroyer here. The only thing I like using, this was in a recent update, was to prioritize vehicles. Your Jackson's not going to kill any infantry. It's purely designed as a tank destroyer. It has no machine guns on it. It's just completely an anti-tank. It's basically a tank destroyer, right? It's like an Su-85. It's not going to kill any infantry, so it's good to prioritize vehicles. That way it's not going to be shooting at the infantry. Now, see, I didn't do that, so I started shooting at the Volksgrenadiers. So I'm going to switch that over in a second here, which I just did, and I'm going to try to target that Osman. They're forced to fall back. Then I'm right down here. I see them advancing. They're getting chewed up by my bars. The men are on the other side. I should really have them on this side of the cupboard. It's okay. They thrown a grenade, and I was like, oh great. Knew that wouldn't kill my men, but it did a decent amount of damage. And I pushed back that Osman who's getting repaired. And there's 2 packs here. I wasn't gonna, I'm not gonna blindly send my tank in there to get killed. And I'm pushing into here, and I see the machine gun. They're really grouped up around this area. This would be a great position to get a Katusha or something. I know this Osman's gonna come down here. I think he's being a little cocky and a little aggressive because he knows my tank destroyer's right here. I'm gonna move in. There's nothing really stopping me. I haven't seen any kind of AT. This AT's probably in the center. I'm gonna move in. My guy sees that tank. I'm gonna try to retarget on this Osman here. And his Osman gets out of the way. I'm gonna pull back because the AT's out right here. He moved it at the last second. So this Osman's gonna get hit by the T-34 here. This Osman, I mean, it's Fusebox's T-34 does not have the prioritized vehicle. It's a tank after all. So the Osman got away with a sliver of health, and so did this Puma. So that's very unfortunate. But we kept both our tanks, which is good. I'm going to fall back and do some repairs on my Jackson tanks right here. I'm kind of setting up a forward base here. I do have my majors, so I've been seeing that combination a lot. You move your major up and set up a forward retreat point, or establish a retreat point next to your ambulance, basically like a forward base, like the Soviets. And yeah, I usually don't. I mean, my tank should probably be facing this way if an enemy tank were to come here, but I'm feeling kind of confident with my infantry scouting ahead that I'd be able to hop in the tank and turn it. Yeah, they seem to want to defend this area. They don't seem to be very aggressive. I mean, you look at the north, it's completely fallen again, and the south just has a Kupelwagen. And it's interesting, this guy is now as an Osman, he's making a Stug, and you know the Stugs aren't very decent. And I'm floating a little bit of man barrier, so is Juicebox. Feel content on what we have so far in our armies, and I'm basically saving up for another tank. I'm gonna grab another Jackson tanks first. I want to double up on these, and I'm probably gonna get a Sherman. And mortar vet 1. Badly firing into this area. You can see the blobs up here, with a concentration of forces, as they'd probably like to call it. They do have a Puma. Oh yeah, okay, there's like 7 units up there. Anyway, once again, I fall into the trap, kind of. I'm gonna throw a smoke again. And he's been blinded by that smoke, so he's not gonna be able to shoot. And I have multiple men flanking around here. And I even have these guys back over here. I'm not gonna let this Kupelwagen get away. So I'm gonna push in. It is killing my men. I gotta fall back with this squad. And I gotta focus on these guys coming in. The bad thing is I can't use my my grenades. They can still use their rifle grenades though, so they're gonna possibly use it on this area and wipe out my squad. They almost actually wiped out my lieutenant there. And I see the Kugelwagen here. I'm gonna move in woods and flank it, and it's gonna get destroyed. It's Vet 2, and it's abandoned, so I can actually hop into that. I gotta pull these guys back. I see it, but just a little bit too late, and they get wiped out. Anyway, I'd love to wipe out his Vet 3 squad, but he's gone now. I'm gonna pop in with the Kugelwagen. Pop my men in there. I thought I'd just, you know, it's kind of weird. You can actually recruit this with 5 guys, and it's not like you can lose your squad, so it's kind of cool. So I'm gonna hop out here and get out of here. I don't really want the Kugelwagen. I think it's kind of a waste of my population right now. And with his grenadiers, he would just kill my men. So you still have some wounded dead over there. So I have 2 Jackson tank destroyers, and Juice Box has his T-34 right here. These men have done some damage, but you should really be using that concentrated fire. You can see he focused on that and pulled all his men back. This thing with the Storm Officer, you know, he's good, but you gotta be careful. A Panther's out. Juice Box has to fall back here. I see a Panther out as I move my tanks down to possibly try to take out this target here. But I'm gonna immediately have to turn my tanks up because I see Juice Box is in trouble. There's an Oswin and a Panther out there. And he's gonna try to kill his squads there. See if we're gonna use our road and go in. This guy has not had the prioritized vehicle yet. And the Oswin's very good. You can see it just crashed and wiped out that house. That airplane, that IL-2 probably. I'm gonna keep hitting its rear army. He's really trying to kill this Vet 2 tank, but it actually, the Oswin gets abandoned, so Juice Box can man that now and use it against the enemy. So he kept his Vet 2 guard squad, which is good. And I have my tanks here ready. The Panther has been marked for destruction. But I'm not going to go after that. I'm not sure what they possibly had there. I'm pretty sure they had some infantry at this point, you know, moving up. I have my men here. I'm trying to test what their defenses are. You know, if I can be aggressive, I'm going to start pushing in the south a little bit with some of my infantry units because the Kugelwagen's gone. If they respond with any armor, I can of course bring my army, but I'm trying to cover Juice Box's base here. They have a recon flight flying around. You can see it's right here. So they have a ton. This guy has 500 munitions because they had held the munitions for so long. But now we're getting 42 munitions and even cut off the munitions they were getting right there. So now they're down to 16 and 7. And that airplane crashed. So I see there's a mortar here, Vet 2, that's been harassing us. And I see it, I'm just going to push in. It has low health. By the time he can retreat and notice it, he's probably going to be killed. So he's going to retreat there. I'm just going to stop my men so he can be more accurate and barge him better up close. And I managed to wipe out his whole crew there. And I don't want to be using the mortar against me, so I'm going to take it and retreat. It's part of stealing enemy weapons. It's like in the last video where I showed how the Oberkommando West were they used the salvage ability to take our AT guns and our machine guns and mortars. Now, they built their Panzer headquarters here so they can get Obersoldaten and Panthers for the Oberkommando West player. Juice Box moving on to T-34. So now we have 4 tanks on the field. I'm going to try to bring some of my tanks further south. I do want to make possibly a southern push. Actually, I also see these men approaching. I'm hoping that Juice Box can help counter those. There's more that's going to start setting up. He's going to have to fall back up here. This guy's using all his munition on those combat packages. Unfortunately, Juice Box doesn't have the DBs. And this guy cut his munitions in half to get more fuel. So he's using that truck for it, I'm sure. Let's double check it. Yeah. So a grenade goes off and wipes out a squad. That's 90 missions down the drain. Well, I'm getting ready for my southern push here. I have a third tank coming in, a third tank destroyed. Juice Box is still repairing this Oswin. My goal is to wipe out this truck here. I want to get rid of this. It's probably giving him fuel. I know it's repairing. I'm actually even moving in to kind of scout. I see they're building a lot of fuel caches. They do control a fuel. Anyway, point blank, my guys are going to win this fight. If they stop, of course, to shoot. He's gonna play chicken there and run. Basically, I have my lieutenant to scout for my 3 tanks that are coming in. I'm gonna take my men off a prioritized vehicle because when they do that, they don't prioritize HQs as vehicles. It's their classification. And I see where the ATs are, so I know the ATs are around here, so I can still kind of move in down here. I'm getting a little impatient. I want these tanks to come in, that other tank to come move up, so we can move in a kind of a bigger armored force in case we encounter anything. And I'm forced to fall back with my lieutenant. Not a big deal. You know, I have my 4 little HQ set up here with my major and my ambulance. I do have my mortar out. These guys are going to start reinforcing. So I have my America's anti-tank force here ready to take on the Germans, and they're all moving in sync. I think is they have to run over some trees. So there's a big hint to the enemy through the fog of war. They can often hear the tanks and they can see them running over the trees and stuff. He's going to try to screen. He's even got an AT in position, so that's how he knew. I'm going to move in, and I see the student. My men automatically start targeting that. I'm okay with that. Even with engine damage, this tank's pretty screwed. I realize I do have the howitzer, so I'm going to call it right on this. I'm trying to get my men out of here. And then I see a Tiger coming, so I've really got to pull back. So artillery's going to come down and pretty much level this base. I gotta pull back. You know, my Vet 1 tank has a damaged engine. I thought the artillery were far more impressive for 250 munitions. Oh, there we go. Anyway, you can see I got killed because the Panther came down here, so I lost my other tank. This one's going to get killed too. So our enemies have scored a major blow on us. They do have a Tiger and a Panther that have just killed my whole armored force in the south. And I somehow didn't kill this. It's down to very little health. Let's see if the artillery finishes it off. Nope. Anyway, G-Box is going to push in. But there is that Puma. You can't underestimate the Puma's gun. It is good against light armor like this. He did wipe out another squad, so you know, when you're not making that much munitions per turn, it's really not too good. He's leading with his Osman, unfortunately, here, trying to get away from the barrage. And the bombing run missed everybody, and he's even going to lose probably another squad here, but the Panther's moving up. So Juicebox knows there's a Tiger down south that's moving probably up to the north, so he's going to ram it. And he's going to get behind it. Its crew's currently shocked right now. I don't know. I can't get any kind of tank just yet. I'm making a Sherman. That's all I can really afford right now. I need the Sherman for its versatility. Anyway, that tank's gone now. He's trying to kill this Panther here. He's very little health. And unbelievably, the Panther's probably going to get away. So we just lost. You know, I did manage to hurt the engine on this Tiger here, but I lost 3 Jacksons, just lost 2 T-34s. They're pushing in the middle. Thankfully, this house is doing pretty well pushing these guys back. Anyway, I'm forced to fall back and get my men out of here. So, they've completely won that. They've destroyed a lot of our tanks. We lost 5 tanks, basically. We're taking back our fuel, and we do have both fuels right now, so you can afford to replace these tanks. And this is a heavily damaged tank, and surprisingly, this base is actually repairing his AT there. Surprisingly, this base is still alive. I mean, it looks pretty dead to me, but a little bit of health and it would have been gone. I didn't know that, you know, fog of war, obviously. And I'm gonna give myself a 50 cal on my Sherman. Sherman's great because you can switch over to the high explosive shells, which is great against infantry blobs. I'd actually recommend Shermans over the, I never use this, that's why. I never use the howitzer mortar carriage. Definitely recommend a Sherman because it can also take down tanks, so it's a light tank, you know. If you want to be going up against heavy German armor, don't use the Sherman. You're probably going to want the Jackson tank destroyer. Anyway, my tank's going to yield to my mortar crew, which is set up over here, not doing anything. I more just want to take that away from the enemy. I didn't necessarily want to have the enemy use that against me. So you're showing some mines down along the roads here, hoping to catch possibly a German tank that we can single out. It is a little gutsy. His men are down to half a squad, and my assault's going in. And luckily his squad got away somehow. But this squad's probably not. Point blank with all my men. Yep. So we lost the Grenadier squad, which is good. Sherman's already up to 4 kills. He has to repair his tank. Basically brought his tank out of action there. He's gonna have to, you know, send engineers to help repair this base, which he's doing right now, and it's a waste. I mean, it's not a waste, but it ties down his resources. So I'm starting to capture the south again, taking back our munitions. I really need that after spending it on that big artillery attack. And I see the Tigers down there. But my Sherman's definitely not down there by himself. He's near the T-34-85s that Juicebox picked up from his doctrine. And here's what I'm thinking. I can hear this Tiger. Let's put on the fog of war. For me. I can hear that Tiger. And look, we're going to look right along here. So I can hear it getting closer. And then I see that. Once you see that, you know there's a Tiger around the corner. So here's my plan. I'm talking to Dispatch here. I'm going to hit it with an anti-tank rifle grenade, destroy its engine while it's kind of on its own here. I'm going to fall back with my infantry, obviously hopefully not lose them. And then the tank's going to come rushing in. So juice box is coming down. Infantry here, I'm going to try to throw a smoke grenade and kind of screen so these guys can't see. And even though they're like kind of smoked out, they hit his engine there. So I have my own tank here. I'm going to have to stop for a second, wiping out more Vet 3 Grenadier squads. You can't keep losing squads like this. Keep in mind, I already lost 1 squad. He's about to lose that other squad. So we just lost like a bunch of Grenadier squads. Just boxes this tank target for mark target. I'm going to have to swing around. I got to switch. It's the aim. You can't actually do a lot of damage to this tank. I'm doing some actually. I haven't switched over to the... I did switch over, good. I was using the HE, I was using the AP. So we're going to have to fall back because the bombing run's coming in. So that's T-34 shots. We're going to pull out of there because we know the Panther's coming. You can see it in the middle of the field, but thankfully, you know, Juicebox's mine, which is covertly put, hurt that guy's engine, so he's kind of stuck. They launched artillery to destroy my house there. Not a big loss overall. More importantly, we see that guy has an engine pretty much completely heavy engine damage. He's not going anywhere. That house is collapsing now too. We're going to push in. So I'm trying to flank around. I'm going to try to get around its left side here. I see there's an AT. I'm on this side, so the AT cannot hit me as easily, and there's a house kind of in its way. And he's about shooting at it from the front. So main gun destroyed. And there's going to go their Vet 2 tank. So a minute ago, or 2 minutes ago, they had a Tiger and a Vet 2 Panther. And we had, you know, basically nothing. And then the T-84s came in, T-34, 85s came in, and then the Sherman came in also. So it's a big deal. And Juicebox is going to try to repair his tank here. He doesn't want to lose it. He's afraid of, you know, possible enemy AT or some kind of tank moving in. You can see he's had to repair this base for a long time. He's lost a lot of his, you know, he should really just reinforce his engineers and then repair to make it go much faster. And he's repairing this, and you can see some pioneers are going to be snooping around. Possibly, Juicebox out there going for a bombing run. Maybe they're trying to take away our munitions again or stop us from capturing it. But you're not going to win against 2 common engineers. And they're going to go right in front of the tank. Which is actually secure mode, so he can't actually fire. And I moved my men up here. I managed to take out an AT crew. I wonder why these are like glowing red. Weird. So I managed to take out the AT crew there. You can see there's a bar just sitting there. It's got a tripod, interesting. So they do have some fuel carriers. They have 32 income. We have 26. So yeah, my crew is elite, so it does repair faster, I believe. Makes them hard to hit. I think it's just maybe out of the tank. But they do have repair critical, which is huge on American tanks. If you have an engine damage, you can hop out, repair critical, and hop back in. And you can see they have a decent infantry force here. They're all kind of back here reinforcing, or just kind of standing up by the outhouse here. So they have 300 points. We 300 points, they have 200, and we're going to take back this point here. We're kind of winning the attrition war, but then another tiger comes out. And this guy's waiting for his... I think he actually has it. He's his jagdtiger. Why is this... Look at this thing. I used this in my last video. You definitely need engine improvements on that, but he can't afford them just yet. Wow. 5 men just got killed in that one squad by this. This isn't very... This is usually 3 men. It's usually pretty good against tanks. You know, I got hit by this, and I'm like, okay, definitely not a fight for this Sherman here. So I got my machine gun here. I just want to keep off the blob. And he's going to send in his little scout car here. He's really trying to scout for this jagdtiger. I'll be ready for him. And I'm trying to suppress these guys from taking the VP here. Unfortunately, they're still taking it. And that's when his tank moves up, or his scout car, his Puma. That's how I'm going to react here. Now I want to keep far enough range so this guy can't hit me, because he has a ridiculous amount of range. You can see one hit and he's almost dead. He's forced to fall back, and I'm not going to pursue. I don't want to get a... I'm not going to get in like a long-range fight with the jagdtiger, with just a Hellcat. I keep calling it not a Hellcat, a Jackson tank destroyer. They haven't made Hellcats yet in this game. The closest thing we got are these Wolverine tank destroyers that were from the first game. Hellcats have machine guns on them. So you got these guys back at base just hanging out. I think I actually forgot about these guys during the battle. That's a waste of manpower. And I'm reinforcing. I'm going to start healing up some troops here. So here's our plan to take it. We don't know there's a tiger in the south. What our plan is that I'm going to move my infantry to scout along here, flank around this area, and cut off these guys. Force his jagdtiger to face me, while all the tanks will push in. I'm going to send my tanks along my infantry down here, and then the G-Box's tanks will come in from the north. So we're basically going to surround this guy and wipe out his blob that way. Now there is a tiger, and I see that there's a tiger there, but I do have some men that are veteran. That's going to make a huge difference if I can... Well, my men are actually just going to take out quickly this fuel cache, because the way they put that's not a great strategic spot. Anyway, I'm just going to keep... I got to move my tanks through here, but there's a tiger in my way. You can see G-Box is getting around, and he's already rammed, and he's shocked the crew here. My infantry are back here. They're killing them. They're basically screening for his guys. They're taking out the Volks Grenadiers with the combat package. He's got his rear armor exposed. I'm moving my tanks in this way. I know the tiger's coming over here. And that wiped out his engineers. I'm moving these guys in. One of them is into the guy's engine and slow him down. That's exactly what we're trying to do here. I managed to hit some of the retreat with that unit, and I'll lose my Bet 3 units here. And my own tanks came up and we destroyed that. You can see this guy's damage. And we're going to say, you know what, this tiger's damaged. We're going to try to take him out here. He's been marked for destruction. I'm going to go around the building here. He's no kind of AT. He's trying to man one now. I don't care if I lose my tank. I managed to wipe him out and I'm going to pull back. My tank's destroyed. He keeps going for some reason, which is a little too much. I got to fall back here. But that's huge again. They lost their jagdtiger and they lost their tiger. This time I'm using the German pronunciation of tiger. I should be saying tiger. You know, tiger for both versus being like jagdtiger and then tiger. And I'm perfectly happy to fight this kind of blob like this. They can damage my engine all they want. I don't really care. I can hop out and repair it easily. But killing these men is worth it. And they're trying to move up. I did throw some smoke down. Yeah, I did throw some smoke down, so... I'm going to hop out here. It's a little dangerous because there's an AT around here to hop out like this, but... it has to be done. And I even got the Sherman bulldozer. You haven't seen me use this in a while, but it's great against infantry and blobs and against buildings. And you can even put down the... You can create a barricade or even destroy barricades. So you can actually make like barricades for your men, like protect them in the streets. I haven't utilized that enough in Company of Heroes 2. Anyway, it's 2 combat engineers repairing this. Use boxes, 2 combat engineers repairing this T-34. See, these guys are pretty much decimated. They have a lot of infantry left, but no armor. Especially this guy. He's got, you know, his kind of blob. Yeah, this blob's not going to win. Anyway, that was too fast for me to react here, and I was going to get those guys back. You know what's heading down there? These 2 units. I gotta pull this guy back. So look at this. Sure, I'm just gonna move in. These guys have AT, but not gonna bother me. And this game is the howitzer. He's forced to fall back. Howitzer's pretty deadly. The HE rounds too. Just a long retreat for the blob. These pioneers are screwed. They're just running in, trying to suicide. They're actually trying to scout for a bombing run, and the bombing run killed their own men. And they killed my mortar. Not a big deal. So I'm gonna pursue. He's trying to cover this southern VP here, and I just have my tanks moving in to get rid of his machine gun there. So now that the south is open, and my men are killing the ATs in the middle. So they pretty much just have this small territory here, and they're forced back roughly around their medical bases. And they don't have the fuel. They can possibly get another Tiger at some point here, but they're pretty much in trouble. We're going to take all 3 VPs and put a lot of pressure on them. I don't think they'd be able to get a... They might be able to get a Tiger, but we had enough tanks to be able to take that out again. And same thing with the jagdtiger with the Tiger was going to be able to get there anyway. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Confirm221 signing off. Let's take a quick look at the kills here. You can see at 108, 162 men lost. And yeah, they kill a lot more than us overall. Anyway, see you in the next one. Leave a like down below. Confirm221 signing off.